If you would be so kind, I need somebody to inject that entire game into my veins immediately. What a game of football that was. That was truly breathtaking. Manchester City were magnificent. Real Madrid never say die. You bring those two things together and you get a positively psychedelic experience. That was one of the best matches of football I have ever watched. It was a privilege to watch that game of football. It was truly exceptional. Manchester City were brilliant, but a little bit profligate, man. They were wasteful. Real Madrid weren't as good, but were ruthless. And therefore, we have one of the best games of football that you could possibly dream of watching. I cannot believe what I'm about to say here. You're not going to believe this either. Manchester City, despite the fact that they scored 4 goals against Real Madrid, 4 goals against the Galacticos, 4 goals against the spirit of Di Stefano and Raul and Ronaldo and everything that goes with those famous white shirts. I think that they deserve a little bit of criticism. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I truly believe that we have to criticise Manchester City for only scoring 4 goals. It sounds ridiculous, I know, but I think that we genuinely have to criticise them a touch and explore why they only scored 4. Because they were worthy for 10. Their passing, the triangles, the way that they dominated that midfield, which isn't easy to do. You're up against Kroos, Modric, true ballers, genuine greats of the game. Modric at least. And Manchester City was so dominant. They scored 4 goals against the 13-time European champions, and yet I don't believe it's enough. I don't believe they've got enough of a lead. Of course, they are capable of going through, but there is something about this Real Madrid team. They are exceptional, and their never say die attitude is unlike anything I think we've ever seen before. You have to bury them. And they came back on 4 separate occasions. Manchester City could never get more than 1 goal in front, 2 goals in front. They needed to extend the lead, but they kept being clawed back. And this Real Madrid team, they are the type of team that you have to finish. You have to kill. You have to cut the head off and bury the corpse and set the mound on fire and then douse the whole thing in water and do it again, because they constantly resurrect. They are never truly over. Until it's over for them, they will fight. And if you haven't cut the head off, if you haven't made sure that they're finished, they're still alive. And their head's not off here. In this tie, their head is not off. Think about their fight backs. Think about how good this team are. Think about how ruthless they can be. Think about how brilliant their firepower is. Their head's not off. Think about the fight back against Paris Saint-Germain. That tie was over. That tie was officially over. And look how it planned out. There was a time in the Chelsea versus Real Madrid tie. Don't get me wrong, Real Madrid was sensational at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea ruined it. But in the Bernabeu, it felt like it was over for Real. It felt like Chelsea were in the ascendancy. Chelsea were dominant. Chelsea were doing everything that we needed to do in order to progress. Real Madrid were going out in the Bernabeu, but we didn't cut their head off. And they resurrected. So this tie is so alive. Manchester City should be very happy with their performance, less happy with the scoreline. They should also be very happy that there is no such thing as away goals anymore, because that would be a very different look and feel around this tie if there were still away goals. But in terms of Manchester City's performance, I don't think they could ask for much more. I think Pep Guardiola will be truly proud of his team. I think his team were magnificent. And what was it, 90 seconds, 93 seconds in? Kevin De Bruyne, diving header. Riyad Mahrez, by the way. I think everybody's going to talk about De Bruyne with regard to that goal. And so they should. The run was exquisite, the timing of it, and then the header was bang on. But Riyad Mahrez deserves an awful lot of credit around that goal. The ball in, it was scrumptious. It made up De Bruyne's mind for him. De Bruyne knew if he gets anything on it, he obviously beats Courtois. Something that means a lot to him. Those who know, know. Brilliant moment. That is the fastest goal that Manchester City have ever scored in a Champions League game. So it's a historic game for so many reasons. But the problem is, when you're playing against Real Madrid, guess what? You're playing against Karim Benzema. And somebody needs to hand deliver the Ballon d'Or to that man now. Just give it to him. Just give him the Ballon d'Or. Go and collect it. Get it round his house. Because he is unbelievable. He is truly unbelievable. He has now scored 320 goals for Real Madrid. 320. That is more than Di Stefano. It's unbelievable how good he is. He has been there for so long and he was constantly the foil. He was constantly the man that allowed others to flourish. And then, when his club needed him most, when everybody has moved on, when everybody has gone on to pastures new, his club needed him to stay, to take the mantle and to step up and absorb the limelight and carry the weight of Real Madrid on his shoulders. That is what Karim Benzema has done. What a man, what a player. 320 goals for the club and a mere 41 goals this season. I just can't get my head around it. I think he is exceptional. And then, not only does he have that brilliant finish for the goal, that was a goal out of nothing. If you watch the build-up for the goal, I think Mendy's about to cross it in. Benzema, if you watch him, he's pointing. He wants it on his head. He wants it high so that he can cut across his man, get his head on it. It's actually a bad cross. I'll tell you the hallmark of a good striker, when you can turn a bad cross into an assist, because that's what he did. The cross went in low, he got across the man, got his arm across the man, left foot on it, in off the post. What a player. And then the panache, the silk, the true class. To have the audacity to Panenka a Champions League semi-final moment with his team 2 goals adrift. I don't say this name lightly, but listen up. You hearing me? Zidane-esque. That's what I'm saying about Karim Benzema. That is what I'm saying. Somebody needs to clip up my Benzema bit there, because that needs to be heard. He is a true great. But on tonight's performance, he wasn't the only one. I thought Mahrez was magical. Like I said, that cross. But when he hit the post as well. De Bruyne, always exceptional. Vinicius Jr., what a player, what a finish, what a skill on Fernandinho. To leave Fernandinho for dust really does take some doing. Bernardo Silva. What are you doing, mate? What a goal that was. And by the way, it's not often I say this. Fair play to the referee. Well done, the referee. Really clever advantage from the ref. But that really was just beautiful. I could watch it. In fact, you know what I might do? I might go and watch it all again. That's how good it was. It was an honour to watch that game of football. It really was. And Manchester City are in the lead. But I think they will feel slightly disappointed. But they should take a lot of heart. They get a right back on the pitch for their time in the Bernabeu. They can feel confident. You know, they've done all of that tonight with a makeshift right back. So if they can get their right back out there, you know, Kyle Walker or whoever it is, get him playing, that will be a very different shaped team. And any Man City fan who's a bit nervous, just remember this. Think about what Chelsea did in the Bernabeu. So it can be done, but it's not easy, because this Real Madrid team are true dogs of war. And I love them for it. I really do. What a night. Aren't we lucky? What a time to be alive. We have watched a classic. Get that game into my veins. I'm actually going to go and watch the bits again. I'm honestly going to go and watch the highlights that will be compiled. Have a wonderful night. Do me one favour before you go. Click subscribe. I'm out in a bit.